Good day to you all. My name is Sanja Ivandic, and today I would like to present you the Outside Multicultural magazine. In order to best explain what this magazine is about and what my experience is, I have to tell you first who I am. So I'm someone who used to live in Bosnia and Herzegovina all my life until I was 29, and then I decided to move to Ireland with my partner. So we moved there and stayed there for 5 years. By the time the 5 years period came to an end, we already made this magazine. After that, shortly after that, we moved to Germany and planned to stay there, for a longer time. So there's been a lot of moving and change of surroundings, not as much as some other people move and relocate, but it was definitely significant for us and a big experience. Somewhere along the lines, naturally, we had opportunities and situations to feel like outsiders, someone coming from a different country where things are done in a certain way, and arriving into a new country where things are done in a different way. Some of the things that we noticed were better, some of the things were just unusual, and just a few of the things would have been worse. But it gave us a lot of food for thought, and we definitely analyzed things a lot, compared things a lot, and grew with that process. So one of the things we concluded is that just observing life with fresh perspective and just having some different experience gives us an edge, gives us some kind of a benefit, an advantage in some situations. And it's not just that it's there to stay with us and a fresh opinion that we might have just because we come from a different place. We noticed that if we had an opportunity to say some things in the new community, at the new job, in a new situation, the community itself would have an opportunity to benefit. So being able to speak up, having the courage to speak up, and having someone to listen to what you have to say was something we were longing for. And then we noticed a lot of people share our opinion or share our desire to have a place to speak up. So the benefits of having different opinions in any culture, in any society, are numerous, and without us going into deep analysis here what those benefits are, we'll just say and confirm that we are firm believers that more diverse a society is, the richer it gets. Richer with differences, with what beauty is, richer with skills, with talents, with opinions, with opportunities to share dialogue, to check on possible solutions to any burning problems. So we decided we are going to do something about it, and we decided to use the subtle approach to resist the negative narrative about people who belong to new communities. Now, what does that mean? It means that a lot of people coming from outside different countries for different reasons, they might be called migrant communities with the kind of common and general way to express who they are. They might be called expatriates, travelers, wanderers, or just new communities. So all of those people sometimes experience negative connotations to who they are just because they came from somewhere else. Partially because of what media has done lately, how they present people with migrant backgrounds, refugees. There's a lot of negative narrative out there, which attracts a lot of negative reactions along with the positive ones. So we didn't want to go into a fighting mode and start shouting words, fierce words, start using strong and fierce vocabulary or tone of voice, although that sometimes is well needed. It wasn't our particular style. So instead of challenging racism, challenging xenophobia, we decided to do a different thing and start inspiring and start putting people from different backgrounds into the same place. Parallel world, showing a mother who came from Uganda and showing a local mother from Ireland being challenged by motherhood and the same topics, and thus being very similar as opposed to being very different, and giving advice to each other. So that's the subtle approach that we decided to take, and out of all those things, something beautiful became, and that is the Outside Multicultural magazine. As promised, I would like to give you a quick tour through the magazine, even though I chatted to you about some of the sections in here. So once you land on the magazine, you'll land on this home page, and we wanted the homepage to be very engaging and to inspire curiosity. So we want to see this logo and see that it's about multicultural topics and see that it's about integration and diversity as well. But then we just wanted them to be intrigued by some of the titles and the imagery, and to be able to click further and to think, oh, so this is not just talking about multicultural topics all the time. There's actually some interesting articles, everyday topics, and some new things that I haven't thought about. So this is the way it looks like at the moment. And we are also featuring a lot of other social enterprises, kind of giving them a push and helping little companies and little kind of handmade productions come to life by advertising them here. So if you click on surviving your newborn in a foreign country, and everywhere else for that matter, you will be able to read an article which will help you if you are a parent, or if you want to help a friend who's a parent, and just if you want to understand how it feels for someone in this situation. We are making sure that every section is as diverse and multicultural as it can be, doing so with the imagery that's used as well. Regarding authors, even if you go to something else, something that wasn't written by me, it's easy to see that in the authors section there's diversity there as well. And we are so transparent about our authors. With their permission, we want people to be inspired to have a chat with them, and we just want to show that you know, if you correlate and feel some emotions from this piece of art, this poem, and you were maybe thinking, oh, those migrants, oh, those newcomers, and then you scroll all the way down and you see, well, the author is someone who comes from Italy, lives in Dublin, writes poems, lectures in universities, and also lectures on Irish heritage. I happen to know that about our lovely author Tiziana. So that's the whole point. We want people to feel that inspiration. If they're the one who affirm negative opinions about migrants, refugees, new communities, we would like to help them change those opinions, or start an inner dialogue, and then connecting mindfulness and multiculturalism. So there are things that can be connected to this topic that we never expected. And we also welcome local authors, and that's the beauty of the magazine, where local authors and authors coming from other countries meet here, and even some people coming from abroad and still living from abroad, or who have visited Ireland and lived there and then moved on. So it's just an equal opportunity space, a media that fosters equality and this gentle approach. If you want to feel inspired, if you want to see how someone different than you is thinking and talking about mental health, about activities that you can do with your grandchildren who are far away, you might find this magazine also very inspiring. And things like this help us even in the current situation. This article was written for grandmas and grandpas who are far away from their kids, and Irish people can correlate to that because a lot of Irish people have moved abroad throughout decades and even longer than that. But this article is very trendy for the COVID era. Hope it's not going to be an era, but in the current situation it's very trendy as well. And here is an author who lives in Bosnia and Herzegovina and writes from her own experience about these topics as well. And then to go to the outside media section, where we have shows, outside music show, which will lead us to a video and the story about how these videos came along in the COVID season, where different musicians from different parts of the world have played for us and performed for us, and we had opportunity to enjoy their music. So we have our social media channels. We have Facebook page, LinkedIn presence, Twitter and Instagram. And it's all very relevant to sustaining our community. And you'll notice that on our Facebook page, we kept that relationship of trust and of informing people about relevant news for our main target group, but also always inviting people to connect on a higher level and to be inspired. And like this section here, sometimes we can find inspiration in common things like looking at the clouds. So we're nurturing this tone of communication with our community. For example, no matter who you are or where you're from, you have the right to watch the clouds. They're showing themselves to you after all. So with those words, what we want to say is that we are all equal, and we want to awaken that in people, and we want to gather the community of people that think the same way. And sometimes we go into defining what some of the important things in the multicultural world are, talking about inclusion, integration, and diversity. But sometimes we just give some non-migration topics a chance, and we talk about some things that are not related to that topic, about beautiful things in life, about people who do some good, and we just cherish that culture on all of our media. And there's so many topics that can be discussed. There's just not enough time. So if you are thinking about how to run multi-channel communication with your target groups, no matter what type of what type of thing is that you're trying to do and communicate. I would advise you to post a lot of true stories, a lot of people stories. Sometimes it's easy enough to share some things and not to spend too much time, and to share across multiple channels, and that will give you enough of presence on the social media, and it will help you save the time at the end. So thank you so much for listening and watching and being interested in the Outside Multicultural magazine. I just wanted to take you through a journey from having a need to express something, to forming it into idea, to making it reality, especially when we're talking about the social enterprise. We're still on our way, we're still growing and falling, and that's normal. Sometimes the challenge is on the financial side, sometimes the challenge is on managing our time, because we are also working on other things apart from this. But the important thing is not to give up, and to start something, and to try and be consistent with it, at least on a minimum level, because even a minimum level with some good intentions is still going towards something good, and you're on a good path. If you'd like to get in touch, if you have a story to share and you would like to be featured in the magazine, please do get in touch. We would like to hear from you, and that's the email that you can reach us at. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you all. Bye.